do you feel about traditional Mexican tortillas? Look at these. They are fantastic. It didn't take us very much time to make them, and they are delicious. So if you've always wondered how to do it, come with me right now into my kitchen. I'm prepared to teach you, and you will love them. Good morning, it's Grandma Roseanne, and we're going to make traditional, very traditional tortillas. We're going to start out, I have 2.5 cups of all-purpose flour in here. To this, I'm going to add 1 teaspoon of salt. Let's give that a mix so that salt is all well incorporated. Honestly, you guys, tortillas are the most simple thing to make, but what I found is it was kind of difficult to get the tortilla the way I really liked it, where it was soft, flavorful, pliable, and I found a recipe that I thought was just excellent. Now, being traditional, we are going to use lard. Now, if you have an opposition to lard, I don't have a problem with that. I did another video where I'm using butter, and if you want to take a look at that one, you can. It's very, very good. But honestly, between you and I think this one with the lard is better. I don't know, I know a lot of you don't like it, but again, this isn't something you're eating every day, right? So, yeah, it's up to you. However, I do have both of them in there for you. Okay, let me get rid of my lard here. Now what we want to do is we want to mix this up. And I just do it with my hands because I think it's kind of a lot easier. You want to get it to where it's just all really incorporated, almost to where it's like small bits of sand. If you are using cold lard, you can add like another 5 minutes. You have to take a little bit of time to warm it up while it's in there. I love recipes that are super, super, super simple and give you a divine product at the end, and I think that's what this recipe does. And you can feel with your hands if you've got lumps of lard anywhere in there, you want to break them up. Okay, I think we're good. Now just make a little well in there. And we want 1 cup of very hot water. I start out with just a little bit at a time in my well and start mixing it in. Again, very hot water, so be very cautious, be careful. Don't want any burns in this kitchen. There. Okay, now I can start using my hands. And 1 cup should be enough, but you want to watch it because you want to make sure that all your flour is hydrated. You know how sometimes you just search and you search and you search and you're trying to find the one recipe, whether it's biscuits or gravy or maybe a pot roast and maybe it's chicken, whatever it is, you know, you just search and then you finally find that recipe that is outstanding and you don't have to search anymore. That's this recipe. Outstanding, and you don't have to search anymore. All right, hydrated. There's no flour left in here. Now then, there is no way that you will be able to roll this out. So what we're going to do is we're going to develop the gluten. I'm going to cover this with some plastic wrap. And it is going to rest for 30 minutes. And this doesn't have any baking powder in it either because I know a lot of the tortilla recipes do, and I've tried those as well. But, you know, like I said, I think I've kind of locked in on this recipe. All right, I'll be back in 30. When I made this recipe the other day, I had just started my 30 minutes, and then you know how sometimes life just takes over? I ended up having to leave. I had things that I had to do. I thought I probably ruined that dough. And it sat here probably for 3 hours. I came back and I thought, well, let me just see what I did. And I continued on with the recipe. Perfect. So what I will say to you is 30 minutes minimum. I have no idea where the maximum is. I'm sure it's at least 3 hours. That I can attest to. A few minutes later. Okay, our 30 minutes has passed and our dough is looking beautiful. So now we want to just divide it into the size of tortilla that we want. So it's up to you. Typically, if you do like a normal size tortilla, it'll make about 12. And they don't have to be all the same simply because you're cooking them individually. So if some are a little larger, some a little smaller, it's really not going to make a difference. Unlike when you're baking cookies or muffins or something, they all probably should be about the same size. But not here. I'm just loosely rolling them at this point, but we are going to tighten the ball. I like mine about a golf ball size. Maybe a little bit bigger than the golf ball. And I'm getting 9 out of mine. You're going to want to dust with a little bit of flour, and you're going to take each one of these balls and you're going to roll them. Don't put too much flour on there or you can't roll them, like I just did. Get some of that flour off. And what you're doing here is you're tightening that ball. It's got to have something to grip onto, so don't do what I did. Don't put so much flour on. Much better. Now, I will show you the difference. This is what we started with. This is what we ended with. So you can see how smooth this ball is and how shaggy this one is. Okay, now you're going to take a ball, and I just kind of punch it out in the middle, and I start stretching that dough out. Just like this. You're going to love working with this dough, actually, you guys, because it's very polite. It does exactly what we ask it to do. All right, lightly flour. And we will start to roll. Now the thickness of your tortilla is entirely up to you. Some people like them very, very thin. I like them a little bit thicker, but it's entirely up to you. But if you're on the thin side of life, you'll be very happy with this dough because, boy, it is just a pleasure to work with. Okay. That's pretty good. Get my heating element going here. And I used to stress because mine were never round, but who cares, really? As long as they're flavorful, the taste is there, they're enjoyable, I could care less, so I don't stress about round anymore. Now this is how you know that your pan is ready. Just take, did you hear that? If it evaporates immediately, it's good. Take your little tortilla, and it goes very quickly. Okay, a few minutes there, flip it over. I don't know why it is, but I think the first tortilla is always like the first pancake. It's just never the prettiest one. I don't know why that happens, but my first pancakes are always a mess. Okay, our first tortilla is done. Ouch, hot, but it's beautiful. I cover them up with just a towel, and then I will continue on with the other, how many days I have? 9? But I did cover them. I do cover them. I don't know if I mentioned that so that they don't dry out. I'll be back when we're done. They're all done, and I am quite proud of myself because this is the closest, ouch, I've ever come to round. But it's perfect, and they're good. So I will take a little taste. What a nice accompaniment to any Mexican meal you might be serving. And you know what I really enjoy when we go to a Mexican restaurant for breakfast? I like eggs, refried beans, and tortillas. And that to me is just a beautiful Mexican breakfast. And where we live, oh my goodness, we are surrounded by really good Mexican restaurants. So for us, it's a pleasure to go have that kind of breakfast sometimes. But you know me, if I can make it, I would prefer to make it at home and have it at home. So thank you so much. I will show you our finished products. All of these beautiful tortillas. Look at them. Aren't they just gorgeous? Oh, that was hot. All right, I'll leave the ingredients below. As I said, this is the traditional version, so I am using lard. I do have another one posted that is no lard. So if you're more comfortable with that one, give that one a try. Subscribe, come back, hit the bell. Ingredients. Enjoy your day. Bye.